and me and you. La 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 la. Hello, howdy, how are you doing? It's me, Easy Baby. I'm just kidding. I'm not a rapper. I need to stop doing that. Hello there. Welcome to my YouTube channel once again. Sorry for the delay from this one to the last one from weeks ago. Trying to get on top of my shit. Anyways, hi. Thank you for watching. One, really appreciate it. I know I suck. Consistency. La la la. Yeah, I need to work on it, obviously. But you know what? At least I'm trying. So, let's go over things before we go into the real topic of what we're going to be talking about. First things first. Let's see. I have big changes coming. No, I'm not releasing them yet because it's not set in stone yet. Minor little things that are like pretty big to me. I'm going to be competing in my first jiu-jitsu tournament December 2nd. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah, I mean, I'm very boring. Been very busy. Work, starting full-time school, bachelor's program, switching majors. I finished my associates in exercise science, and I will be, I cannot speak today. Wow. Switching to social psychology for my bachelor's, and most likely be getting my master's and maybe so on and so forth. We'll see. Okay, so I said something earlier. What did I say? Oh yeah, the number one thing that changed my life. I bet that's why you're here. So, but on the real note, this is a very big topic to me, something that means a lot to me, and I would love to, I try to share this with as many people as I can, because honestly, if you do this one simple thing, your life mysteriously starts getting significantly better. Okay? So, growing up, and I mean up until about basically last year, beginning of this year, I used to do everything for everyone. And there's so many of us like that out there. I mean, if you're watching this, you are probably one of them. You are probably like me, where you would bend over backwards for anybody. There's nothing wrong with that, except for I want to kind of have you think of something. I heard this analogy. I don't remember who now off the top of my head, of course, now that I'm talking about it, but I want you to think about your energy that you give to everyone. Think about it as almost money. Okay? If you're giving all 20 of your friends money, giving all 20 coworkers your money, giving the people that don't even deserve your money, think of that as like energy. And if you're giving everyone your money, you have no money left over for yourself. Side note, it's just an analogy. Sorry, my English is horrible today. And it's always on the days that I'm deciding to do a YouTube video. Anyways, the money reference was just an analogy. Analogy. I can't say the word today. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. Jeez freaking Louise. Anyways, so my point being is, if you're giving all of your energy to every single person, You have no energy left for yourself. And if you're like me, which a lot of you are, and you have no energy for yourself, you never do anything for yourself, and most people don't. So, the number one thing that I have learned is putting myself first. Bear with me, okay? So, starting last September, I finally decided to get help, therapy-wise, through the VA, because I struggled significantly with depression and PTSD. I got diagnosed at a very young age for my childhood, and things ended up happening to me while in the Marine Corps. That kind of it's just built up, and it got to the point that if I didn't get help, like, I wasn't gonna get better. So, also side note with that, it took me 3 years to be ready after Alex died. It took me 3 years to want to get better and want change. If you're not ready for change, it's okay. But once you get to that point where you're sick of living, so miserable, so drained, so sad, that you fucking hate getting out of bed and you just hate your life, essentially, you're going to get to that rock bottom, and that's when you choose. You choose to fucking give up, or you choose to change. And I really, really hope that you choose to change, because you're not alone. You are never alone. There's a lot of people going through what you're going through, and it does get better if you want it to get better. I promise you that. But you have to want to change. And so that's where I got last September, is I didn't want to live my life like that anymore. I got to the point, like, where I would sit in my car for 6, 7, 8 hours. I would sleep in my car sometimes. I couldn't even get through the door of my own house, my own home. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't, like, it affected everything in my life, of things from the past that, like, someday I'll tell my story to you guys. But got to that point where I wanted to change, and shout out to the Long Beach VA for that therapist. That was the one really fucking great thing I got out of going there. And I seriously, I owe everything to that therapist. Honestly, she, and I won't release her name, but she's amazing. She literally changed my life. But I was ready for that change. So I went out, got help, and it wasn't like specific therapy for PTSD yet. It was just regular therapy, kind of just like her getting to know me, and there was so much in my life we really needed to kind of get through all of that mess first before we could pinpoint what I was going to be getting treated for specifically. Oh, say it, don't spray it. But specifically for the PTSD, okay? And I've had a lot of veterans, more so on the combat side, so I don't relate to that. I have the utmost respect for anybody that has served our country, especially in that way. But I do highly recommend for anybody struggling with depression, PTSD, literally any mental health, go and get the help when you're ready. And if you want to get better and you don't want to live your life like that, please go get the help. And it was the best decision of my life. But anyways, backtracking to, this all matters in the end, so bear with me. Thank you for, if you're watching this far. But so we went through this regular therapy first, got through that for like the first couple months up until finally from September to January, December, January time frame, we decided to go with the option to treat my PTSD through a program, therapy called prolonged exposure therapy. It is not for the weak, but if you've gone through so much hell, you can do this, honestly. But I'll give you a little background because I had a lot of questions on this before, so I do want to just explain that real quick. And there's a bug that's bugging me. Go away. Anyways, so prolonged exposure therapy, basically you pick like the #1 incident that is like the stem, the very root of your PTSD, and God, it sucks so bad. But it was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. And so you pick the specific what you're going to be treated specifically for, and that's the thing that like runs your life, everything. And so we had my problem picked out, and every week I had it on Friday morning. So every Friday morning I went in for my session, and we would sit down and I would go through the entire story of talking about the incident from start to finish. And it's recorded on your phone the entire time. After the session, you're required to listen to your recording every single day. And then you're also required to do, it's not extreme at first, like you work your way up to like the extremes of what you avoid and everything, but you work your way up of like doing things that you would avoid doing, or whatever. So and it gets harder and harder and harder every week, because every week you're required to disclose more and more details. Because at first, sometimes it's so long ago or whatever, but you just kind of go through the gist of it because that's all you can handle. And then you're forced and prone to, like, they get you to go deeper and deeper and deeper, more details. And it's, the closest people in my life I allowed to listen to that, because it's something I never shared with with basically anyone. And it's hard. It's really hard. And it's really hard. And every week you have to listen to it. Every single day. You listen to your own recording. You listen to yourself talk about it, and you can hear yourself, and you're reliving it every fucking day. But through it all, it was the best decision I ever made in my entire life. I feel like the shackles were lifted off of that, and I can be home alone now for the first time like ever in my life, basically, and there's things I can do I've never in a million years thought I could ever do again. And so the reason why I bring that up, though, is one of the homework assignments, besides doing things I would avoid, the other thing that my therapist would make me do is do one thing for myself every single week. One thing. And I didn't really get the concept at first, and sometimes it was really hard to do one thing for me. Like, it couldn't just be like take a nap or whatever. Like, you got to do something for yourself. Give yourself time to do something. And God, like, the difference it made, though, to put priority on myself was such an incredible impact that, like, from that point on, once I started training again, I made my clients do that, because I realized the clients I was attracting were a lot of people that wanted to change their lives, and the very same similar people that have gone through things like I have, and wanted to cope and get better, and not just get better physically but also mentally. So that would be my homework assignment for my clients too, and they'll tell you that, like, I always like, hey, what'd you do for yourself this week? And they gotta tell me what the homework that they did. But when you start doing this, it's weird. You're doing you're doing something for yourself that, like, if you're like me, you put everyone first and you're constantly neglected. When she told me to do this, and she asked me first, like, when was the last time you did something for yourself? And I could not tell you the last time I did something for myself. But the impact it has on your life is crazy, because once you start doing things for yourself, you're more in tune with how much happier you are, how much you appreciate, how much you're taking the time to just breathe and live and do something you want to do. Because a lot of times if you're with someone that's toxic, or it doesn't even have to be someone toxic, it could be just with someone, and you're always focused on them, and you're never doing anything for yourself, like, you forget, like, who you are sometimes. And it's super easy to just put yourself on the back burner until you're so caught up and you're so tired that you're almost, you're like an Energizer bunny, and you're like, your battery's almost dead. And I found that, like, when I started doing more and more for myself, I also was getting rid of very toxic people because, like a lot of you, I gave my energy so much to people that didn't deserve it. And when I started providing energy for myself and how great I felt and how liberating and how different I felt, I realized it wasn't worth giving my energy to people who did not deserve it. So I'm not saying never do anything for anyone. That's not what I'm saying at all. But being more frugal, being more conservative with the energy you give out to others, especially if it's people that don't deserve it. And so when you find that you're focusing on yourself and putting yourself as a priority, life it changes. You're no longer going to give the energy towards people that don't deserve it. That's more energy for yourself. Your quality of life just goes significantly up. And I don't want to rant forever and forever and forever about it because it's a very simple concept. But what I would love from you guys, if you're watching this far, is I would like you to try it. If you're that type of person that needed to hear this, it needed a change, it needed to start somewhere. I'm not asking you to change your whole entire life. All I am asking is for you to do one thing for yourself a week. Whether girls, like if it's getting your nails done, like mine are not done, so like that's gonna be my thing for this week. Getting your nails done, or like going to the beach, or if you're in the city, or like you're not, I mean, do whatever, like what makes you happy. And my therapist, what she had me do at first was write a list of simple things. Me reading a book at a coffee shop, walking at the beach, walking my dog, things like that really bring me like just pure happiness and like keeps me calm and relaxed. It helped me come up with things I wanted to do every week. And don't do the same thing every single week. Like, be creative. Like, what's something you always wanted to do, or something like different or whatever. Like, this is your chance to finally be selfish. So that's my challenge. If you're ready for that change and you want your life to be different than what it is, like maybe you're just lacking a little something, maybe you're just missing something, you can't pinpoint it, and you don't remember the last time you did something for yourself, then this is for you. And it's up to you. You don't have to share it. But if you do end up trying this and you're doing this consistently, please let me know. Like, give me feedback. How did you like it? How did it make you feel? Like, did this help? I'm going to go more in depth with things like this to help people because, you know, I have my days. Everyone does. But my life, never in a million years as a kid, a year ago, 2 years ago, like when I lost Alex, never in a million years did I think I was capable of being this happy by myself. And so yeah, I want you to try that. And going a little further than that, I'm actually starting to read some new books because like I've done everything my therapist has told me, and I'm very open-minded, and you need to be open-minded on these kind of journeys. Like, be open to things. Like, yeah, it might sound silly, but that little silly thing can change your life. And other things that I'm doing, I'm doing a lot more reading because that's definitely something I missed and I haven't done in years. Like, I know that's crazy, but reading this badass book right here. And I'm not very far into it yet, but so far, really, really good. I've heard amazing reviews about this. I've gotten my clients some of these books. I've gotten my sister this book. And then another book I've heard from, and I bought it already, is Girl Wash Your Face. This is going to be next. And then the one after that, I went a little crazy because once I like get really excited about something, I do have an obsessive like personality. So like I make sure to, I understand that about myself, and so I make sure I put that to a positive manner versus a negative one. So like I don't do drugs because, you know, addictive personalities. I don't do, you know, I'm I very much so limit myself on drinking. Like there's a lot of things you know, bad food. Like I understand that about myself. So anyways, this whole different topic. And then I'm not giving a fuck. So these are my 3, and I have a million others that I'm sure half of you would recommend. Things that are already on my like to read list, but those are the 3 that I'd like to get done within like the next month or 2. But still, feel free to let me know some other books. Switch your major to social psych. I mean, I was always planning on doing the psychology route eventually, but I'm kind of still figuring out my life. My original plan, which is most likely changing, but my original plan was to end up getting my master's minimum at least, maybe my PhD in psychology, so that instead of doing sit-down therapy sessions with especially veterans that struggle with PTSD, I wanted to train them as a personal trainer and have that training session as a therapy session too, because honestly, your mental and physical health go hand in hand, and that's a whole nother subject that I can go on forever about. But I won't for this video, and I'll make that up for a different video sometime. But if you like this video, please let me know. Leave a comment, subscribe, like it, let me know, share it on your Instagram. I don't have a lot of subscription people on here. I don't know if that's what you call them. But if this helped you or this can help someone else, share the shit out of this. And again, if you ever need someone, feel free to reach out to me. You're not alone. And I promise it gets better once you're ready for that change. Okay? Don't judge by a book by its cover. A lot of my new followers have no idea about me. Someday I'll tell a little bit of my story, but that's not quite there yet. I got some work to do before I share my story. So I do hope for you to get to know me. I do hope you enjoy this YouTube of mine. And that's it, ladies and gents. So yeah, do what I say. Let me know. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna be trying to do a video once a week. We'll see how that goes. I already have a girl that I have on the list that I'm gonna be doing interviewing that's a badass. Hoping to do that next week at some time. I'll let you know. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day, guys.